I was first called up in 1965. I was doing an apprenticeship as a toolmaker, being deferred for 2 years before I went in February 1967. I had mixed feelings about going in. I thought I'd, like most Australians, some people lied about their age years ago and went in very young, and I wanted to be part of the adventure, is how I thought it would be. It turned out to be some adventure, but nevertheless it was one. And I went into national service in February 67 and got out of national service in February 69. In that period I did my recruit training at Puckapunyal and corps training at Singleton in New South Wales, and then I was posted to Woodside in South Australia to 3 Battalion.
So what was it like in terms of arriving at Puckapunyal and suddenly discovering you're in the army now?
Shit house. It was as soon as we arrived, we were shifted like cattle, which was quite different to what we had living in the city, or anyone. Their time wasn't our own. Someone was telling us what to do all the time. So from that point of view, it was fairly a baptism of fire, you might say. But nevertheless, we're all in the same position. So from then on, all getting our haircuts at the same length, which was probably a number 1 or number 2, and we went through our what we had to go through in recruit training. Corps training was somewhat a little bit easier because recruit training was where you had to sort of be fit, and they put you through all of this fitness regime. A lot of blokes were overweight and found it difficult.
Did you resent that sort of invasion of your rights, as it were, as a young man, to do everything and to sort of just make your bed or not make your bed as you felt fit at home with your mum and your daddy? You lived at home or what?
Yes, I lived at home, and I was probably a bit slack in that department at home in making beds and things like that, but I knew that everyone was doing the same as me. It wasn't just me that had to sort of do the right thing all the time. We all did, and sometimes if someone didn't do it right, then we all suffered. So we had to make sure that everybody did the same thing and everybody did it correctly. So if everything wasn't right, if the bed wasn't made right and they dropped a 20-cent piece on the bed, and if it didn't spring and didn't bounce, then you had to make the bed again properly, hospital style. So it was all made correctly, army style. Everything was army style. Many a time you'd think that you'd like to take him behind the shed, and he probably built the shit out of us anyway, but many a time you had that feeling that you get angry because of what they're doing, and it seemed relentless, but we knew it had to be done and everybody had to do it. So off we went.
How fit did you get in that 12 months of basic training before you went to Vietnam?
Very fit. I was probably the fittest I'd been since all my life, I guess, because even playing football and that prior to that, I was fit, but I wasn't actually muscular, physically fit. This way they developed, everything pretty well, and so you had to have that sort of resource, because if you went any further in terms of going overseas, not that we knew then, but if we did, we would have the capacity to sort of cover that.
Did you ever have any thoughts in Vietnam? Oh my God, I'm glad they really pushed us to the degree that they did with training, because it's really saving my life now, as it were, or my ass.
Saving my ass. Yes, at times we were saying, I wish the bloody hell we weren't here, as opposed to them making us as fit as we were. I think we got as fit as we were because we moved into a new position at Nui Dat.